Namaste, Jai Bharat. Hindus believe in karma, and karma is found everywhere. I'm talking about the European karma, the Western world so called. There was a time when they colonized everyone. They had this industrial revolution beginning with England, went around selling their things to others. They went as traders, then colonized, and they deceived people, looted people. These things happened. They have colonized, they have invaded. There's a kind of colonial invasions all over the world that these people have done. European nations in particular. Britain was much better and much stronger in that case. And now karma comes back to Europe. The Islamic radicals have invaded Europe, because Europeans by the time, in Italy as well, we're talking about her first, the Islamic radicals had sneaked into European nations in the name of refugees, because they had internal problems in especially nations like Syria, etc., that the Islamic State phenomenon, and many people ran away. And there, by this time, communism is never taken root anywhere, including in Soviet Union, which was really not a communism. But Lenin tried his best to make it communism in the real sense, but failed. But communism has never taken root. But then communism or Marxism had become convenient in the hands of the liberal academics, left liberal academics. And then this so-called humanists, who found it very convenient to their nefarious intentions, the purposes which ever remain hidden. So you find a lot of people in academia, and you find a lot of people in the so-called intellectual world, which really hardly are intellectual in many cases. The so-called intellectual world, and they're under the influence of Marxist tools, which they use effectively to their convenience. Not that they understand what communism is, that's obvious. And such people they talk they're very lofty, and they speak high about humanism and all the humanitarian considerations, all these stories they make. They know that other people are going to take advantage, but they don't care. They wanted to speak flowery language, which impresses people for all. I don't know what really their objective is, but they wanted to boost themselves as the real good noble kind of people. So these people have welcomed the refugees in the name of humanity. They are human beings, and so we welcome them. Europe had welcomed them. There are a lot of refugees who got into most European nations, except to some extent in Poland. They had been very sensible to the Polish people. They did not allow much refugees. Very less, I suppose. One of the MP was telling 0. I don't know, but then definitely much less. So these people have gone, and they had gone with a kind of barbaric attitude, and they have gone with a kind of not blending with others attitude. They always kept distance from others. They thought they are much better, superior in terms of religion, superior in terms of, if at all they have one, culture, and superior in terms of everything. So they started looking at others as infidels, because their religion teaches them all others are infidels. And what happened? They started destroying the very labyrinth, the very edifice, a very structure of the societies into which they happened to get in. That's infiltration. And this thing happened in many European nations. They have not yet learned. Some people have started learning very late. And by the time they learn things, London deserves it, because they have colonized many other people. And a poor England had become rich after colonizing Bharat by taking away our properties, our wealth, and destroying us. And they try their best to destroy us through destroying the Sanskriti culture of Bharat. They tried their best, some inadvertently, but many people very deliberately, calculatively, in planning. Through plans. So they deserve it. That's karma for them. The Islamic invasion had destroyed their kind of so-called dominational attitude to the world. There are people who talk about blue blood, royal blood, whatever. kudos to Hegel who spoke of such things. But these people repeat. And by birth noble, all those kinds of things. These things don't exist. They are just talks. But these people who had the attitude of superiority to the rest of the world, by virtue of what nobody knows, they believe so and they act so. Many people might accept it to some extent, but then these attitudes, karma is back. The Islamic invasion, they have slogans, Allahu Akbar, on the streets of entire UK, and they do prayers out there in the street, and these people don't know how to react. Now some people might be reacting, but then they're not very organized. So this is the karma for them. This is the karma for most European nations who welcome refugees in the name of the humanism, humanitarian, like help, etc., etc. This is, of course, controlled, propagated, and executed by the left liberal radicals. This kind of attitude, and then the society fails. Society is destroyed, the crime rate increases, the rape increases. These people are the real barbarians that they have not realized. They're still not realizing. They'll take time to realize through destruction of yourselves. But Italy had started decolonizing their invasions from the radicals. Italian communists, the influence of Antonio Gramsci and company must still be there. Italian communists, and they were accusing the other government as being fascists. But the right-wing development, unfortunately for Italy, this wonderful woman, Giorgia Melony, is a strong person, comes forward, determined. I don't want to know about her personal life. That's her personal life, and I don't want to discuss. Let no one discuss on somebody's personal life. But as a leader, she's such a strong and positive leader who had understood the danger from Islamic invasions, cultural invasions. By the time Giorgia Melony came, they had all these mosques as cultural centers. She has deculturized them, tries her level best to get these people ousted from Italy. So Italy is on the way of survival. They need a renaissance now, not just from papacy, but they had it in Rome, but from the Islamic structural invasion and the kind of flowery talks of centers of this thing and that thing and whatnot. So she is taking whatever she can, and that really needs a lot of courage. That's why she is doing it. And just because of this woman, Italy saved. Just because of some other woman, we are doomed. That's a different story, not connected, but you understand what I mean. So this is a very solid person, and that woman really deserves to be appreciated, respected for the way she stands for the people of Italy. She has to be unscrupulous to the cockroaches. This is what I am borrowing from somebody else. That if then there are cockroaches, she has to be unscrupulous to them. Otherwise, these cockroaches will eat them up alive. And other people, especially London, England, in the English people, they don't do it, there won't be any English people left. And by the time they cry, the karma would have eaten them up. But this is karma for Europe, for whatever you have done to the rest of the world, especially to Bharat. You have not understood what Bharat is. It may take another 50 years for it to start respecting Bharat. By the time you will be very, very, very much shattered and destroyed. We shall meet again. Namaste. Jai Bharat, Jai Siya Ram.